My HOA Karen declared war on my new fence. She sent fines, she made threats, and then she finally called the cops to have it torn down right in front of my family. She stood there, smug and victorious, as the officers walked up my driveway. What she didn't know was that my quiet, bookish husband, the man she'd ignored a dozen times, was the very person who wrote the city's entire zoning code. The police weren't there to give me a citation. They were there to get a lesson in the law from their ultimate boss. Stay tuned to see how my illegal fence ended up dismantling her entire HOA leadership. It all started with a puppy, a fluffy golden retriever named Gus, to be exact. All my husband Mark and I wanted was to give him a safe space to run around in our new backyard. We live in a nice, quiet cul-de-sac, and we figured a simple 6-foot cedar fence would do the trick. Before building, I did my due diligence. I read the HOA covenants cover to cover. Our plan was 100% compliant. The fence went up in a weekend, and it looked great. Gus loved it. We loved it, but Karen hated it. Karen was our neighborhood's newly elected HOA president, and she wore her title like a military general. The Monday after we finished, she was on my doorstep, clipboard in hand, face pinched into a permanent scowl. "This is an unapproved structure," she announced, stabbing a finger towards the fence that I smiled politely. "Hi, Karen. Actually, I checked the bylaws. Section 7B allows for 6-foot privacy fences as long as they're made of wood or vinyl. We're well within the guidelines." She scoffed, a sound like air escaping a punctured tire. "The bylaws are a guideline. I am the final authority on community aesthetics, and that thing is an eyesore. You have 48 hours to take it down, or the fines begin." She wasn't bluffing. A $50 ticket appeared on our door the next day, then $100. Then came the certified letters. Throughout this, my husband Mark just shook his head, buried in a dense legal book on the porch. He's a quiet man, an academic type. He told me, "Just keep the documentation, honey. Let her build her case." The breaking point came on a Saturday morning. I was watering my petunias when Karen marched onto my lawn, phone pressed to her ear. "Yes, I need officers immediately," she said, loud enough for the whole street to hear. "There's an illegal structure at 124 Oak Street. The resident is refusing to comply. I want it removed." Today, 2 police cruisers rolled up minutes later. Karen was practically vibrating with triumph. "Officers, thank you for coming," she said, pointing at me. "This woman has violated HOA code and refuses to dismantle this monstrosity." A tall, weary-looking officer approached me. "Ma'am, can you tell me what's going on here?" Before I could speak, Mark slowly closed his book with a soft thud. He stood up, walked over, and extended a hand to the officer. "Good morning, officer," he said in his calm, measured voice. "Mark Thompson. I'm the Director of Urban Planning and Zoning for the city. Perhaps I can clear this up." The officer's eyes widened slightly. He looked from Mark to the smug look evaporating from Karen's face. "Mr. Thompson, sir," the officer stammered. "Apologies. We just got the call." Mark gave a reassuring nod. "No apology needed, officer. You're just doing your job." "However," he said, turning his gaze to Karen, "my wife is correct. This fence is compliant with HOA rules. But more importantly, it is protected by City Ordinance 1138, subsection C, which I personally authored in 2018. It explicitly states that any residential fence under 8 feet is exempt from aesthetic challenges by non-governmental bodies. Like an HOA. He let the words hang in the air. Karen's face went from pale to beet red. Mark continued, "These fines are therefore illegitimate, and your call to 911 over a legally protected structure constitutes harassment of a private citizen." The officer turned to Karen, his professional demeanor back in full force. "Ma'am," he said coolly, "we're done here, but I'll be needing your information. We've received a formal harassment complaint." Karen's reign ended that day. A recall petition went around the neighborhood by sunset, and my illegal fence became a quiet symbol of her spectacular downfall.